Welcome. Welcome to Los Isleños Museum. You're very lucky to get this tour. And let me take you by voice on the tour, okay? The original museum building was constructed in 1840, way before I was born. It was crushed by a large water oak during Hurricane Katrina. Los Isleños Museum was donated to the people of St. Bernard Parish in 1980 by Louise Molero O'Toole and Mabel Molero Quattroy in memory of their parents, Manuel and Camille Molero. This replacement structure is an exterior replica of the original museum building. Parish government received $709,504 in public assistance funds from FEMA, which subsidized the reconstruction of this museum. The Canary Islands form an archipelago in the Atlantic Ocean, 80 miles off the coast of Morocco. The Spanish conquest of the Canaries began in the 14th century and continued throughout the 15th century until 1496. Several distinct races of Aborigines, known collectively as Guanches, were inhabiting the islands when the Spanish conquest began. Now, most modern-day Canarians trace their ancestry to the Guanches, many of whom were tall, with light eyes, skin, and hair. This is such a fascinating history. Now, Columbus set the precedent of sailing from the Canaries to reach the New World in 1492. From 1492 through the 18th century, the Canary Islands were the gateway to the Spanish Empire in the Americas. Canary Islanders formed the vanguard of Spanish colonists who settled the Spanish Empire, an empire which stretched across the globe from the 1500s until the 19th century. King Charles III of Spain settled Canarians in Louisiana between 1778 and 1783 to halt British colonial expansion west of the Mississippi River. Spanish officials recognized that New Orleans controlled access to the Mississippi Valley and that the British planned to capture New Orleans from Spain. Canary Islanders, or Isleños, came to Louisiana to populate Louisiana and defend the region against the British. Governor Bernardo de Galvez led Louisiana and Isleño militiamen against the British in the Galvez expedition during the American Revolution. Isleños finally realized the destiny which Spain envisioned in 1814-1815 when they successfully repelled with other Louisianians the British invasion of this region, which culminated with the Battle of New Orleans, January the 8th, 1815. Now, the Isleños founded St. Bernard in 1780 and were awarded land grants along Bayou Terre-aux-Bœufs. By 1803, Canary Islanders were feeding the city of New Orleans with produce and poultry. The Battle of New Orleans resulted in the plunder of St. Bernard. Wealthy sugar planters purchased and consolidated Isleño land grants into large estates. Thus, 1815 ushered in the first significant transition period in the Isleño presence in St. Bernard. Following the Civil War, Isleños who had found employment on sugar plantations were forced to pursue subsistence livelihoods as the plantation economy of St. Bernard vanished. Isleños began to populate the easternmost reaches of the parish and pursue hunting, trapping, moss gathering, and commercial fishing. The 20th century brought natural disasters, 2 world wars, and a resultant period of constant transition. Nevertheless, the Isleños preserved their linguistic and cultural identity throughout this tumultuous period of transition and pressure to assimilate into mainstream American culture. The permanent interpretive exhibition, when completed, will reflect the rich tapestry which is the heritage and culture of the Isleños. Los Isleños Heritage and Cultural Society was incorporated in 1976 to preserve the distinct heritage and cultural legacies of the Canary Islanders who founded St. Bernard Parish. Frank Fernandez, the first parish historian of St. Bernard, conceived the idea of organizing Los Isleños Society in 1975. The Los Isleños Society has worked tirelessly over 34 years to develop Los Isleños Museum Complex. The Society has organized an annual Heritage Fiesta every year since 1976. Even Hurricane Katrina could not prevent them from organizing Fiesta 2006. Only 6 months following the hurricane, throngs of visitors turned out to participate in the fiesta held in the parking lot of the St. Bernard Cultural Center and Torres Park. The Society led the first delegation of Louisiana Canarian descendants to return to the Canaries in 1977. Now, the mother and aunt of Dorothy Bench, the Los Isleños Society president, donated the parents' home in St. Bernard Village for the establishment of Los Isleños Museum. And since 1997, the Society has successfully partnered with parish government to administer and develop Los Isleños Museum Complex. To date, the Society has raised more than $1.1 million to move historic structures to the museum complex, restore the buildings, develop ancillary resources such as a nature trail. Please support the Society in its endeavor of preserving the precious heritage of Los Isleños. And one more thing, do this, do what I have. Buy the Los Isleños Canary Islanders Cookbook. These are recipes from Spanish Louisiana. Lots of them. Look at them, and they're fabulous. I'm a foodie, and I've been cooking out of it. It's wonderful. You do it.
Mi cantar es como el viento, como la espuma del agua, como la espuma. Como la espuma en el agua, como una gaviota en vuelo, como un canario sin jaula.